President Trump taps his former personal lawyer to lead investigations of New York Attorney General Letitia James and former FBI Director James Comey. So Lindsey Halligan has now spent much of her 11-year legal career on local insurance cases in Florida State Court. So this move now comes after a post from the president pressuring the Attorney General to be able to act. And now former federal prosecutors are now speaking out, saying that it shows that Trump is using federal power to target his political foes. Let's talk about it now with Chief Legal Analyst Clive Rhodes joining us. Got to talk about the pink elephant in the room, because I want to find out, is it unusual for someone without prosecutorial experience like Halligan to lead such high-stakes DOJ office positions or handling the cases of terrorism and espionage?
Yes. You're saying you're asking this person to be a United States attorney without any prosecutorial experience. That absolutely in the history of this country does not happen. Most of the folks that become U.S. attorney, that's the highest office in that state, in that district within the state. For states that have multiple districts, and most of them do.
Right.
Like, for instance, North Carolina, the Western District is what we're here right in Mecklenburg County. The folks that were in those positions before had been career prosecutors, folks that had worked in prosecutor's office for multiple years, maybe worked in the Attorney General's office, another type of prosecutorial office, and then became a U.S. attorney. So you're someone that wasn't an assistant U.S. attorney, hadn't been a prosecutor, and was doing, insurance work for the last 11 years. Yes, you are ultimately wholly unqualified for this type of position, and it will show soon how unqualified you are, because if you're looking for political allegiance, yes, you'll get that. But if you're looking for prosecutorial performance, someone that knows what they're doing in these type of situations, mostly procedural, then you will be lacking for sure.
So for the American people, what safeguards in place now, or do they exist to be able to ensure that the Department of Justice remains independent when political appointees now are perceived as targeting the president's opponents?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too long ago that the President of the United States complained while he was candidate Trump running for his second term of office that the weaponization of the Department of Justice was a problem. But at the same time, while saying that, talked about how he was going to go after and get retribution against the people that came against him. And so who does he have in his crosshairs? James Comey, former FBI director, Letitia James, New York attorney that got the lawsuit against him. Anyone that has stood in his way in the past is now directly in the crosshairs of what that same weapon, the Department of Justice, that he complained about, that was using against him. The only problem is the previous administration was not weaponizing the Department of Justice, but yet they seem to be doing that. Why? You fire a former prosecutor that didn't want to move as fast as you wanted him to move. You followed Jason Manning, another former prosecutor, because the cases regarding the January 6th folks that raided and did the riot on the Capitol, you felt like his experience when there could hamper the role. Those are the types of things that the president is doing, not only going after political opponents, but going after folks that work in the Department of Justice, in the U.S. attorney's offices, to say, I want to remove you if you even touched a case that had anything to do with me.
All right, let's bring the conversation so that people can really understand, because if the DOJ, if the actions are seen as politically motivated, so what is the potential long-term consequences of the public trust in the justice system and the rule of law in the U.S.?
Eroded. Potential consequences is the erosion of trust in the system. I mean, our system only works if we trust that it works for you. But if you believe that it is flawed, if you believe that it's skewed, if it's biased, or if it doesn't work in your benefit, then yes, you will now believe that I don't have to utilize the system, that I can take measures into my own hands, that the processes that we have in place are not adequate for us to get the resolution that I'm looking for. And this is, again, I have to underscore, this is exactly what President Trump was saying that the other administration was doing, without having any evidence, without being able to point to any examples. But yet this now, in plain black and white, right in front of all of our eyes, is him utilizing the Department of Justice, has individual attorneys to go out there and go after individuals that he did not like prior to him becoming President Trump in the second term.
Any final thoughts?
This is scary. This is you're going to have offices that are gutted with career prosecutors that know how to do the job, filled and replaced with people that have no idea what they're doing. So the system is going to have issues rebuilding itself over the next 10 to 20 years.
We appreciate your insight, Clive Rhodes. Thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.